Hey guys, Joe from the What Shaving News podcast. We're going to have a quick video on different types of single edge safety razors. Now, this week's podcast episode is featuring. I wanted to talk more about single edge razors, but there's so many different types. It's very, very hard to actually come across and explain them all. So I'm just going to show a model of each one or a representation of each one, so you can get a better understanding of what you're looking at when you're actually trying to purchase one, or if you're interested in, or if you're just more interested into them in general. So here's the first one I have. This is a Star. This is basically a Star Safety razor from 1890. This is the 1890 model. You've probably seen a couple of these online, here and there. This isn't the first version of the actual single edge razor. The first one came out in 1880. That had the wooden handle and everything. This is more the one this is probably more mainstream production-wise. This has a wedge-style blade that can be honed and stropped, and that's how it was designed. It wasn't designed to be disposable. The disposable razors didn't come until Gillette in 1904, when he came out with the actual double-edge razor. That was the first disposable razor. But yeah, safety razors were out well before the Gillette razor was. He's more of like the Henry Ford, I think, of the wet shaving world, rather than the inventor. But he did invent the double-edged razor, and he more invented the disposable lifestyle of shaving. But to not get too much off subject, this is it here. You can find these online. They're everywhere. I don't have the case for it. I wish I had the tin. But the way they worked was you just obviously shave with it. They call them the nickname for these are the lather catchers, and that's because they have a little lather catcher in there. They're very mild. I have a video of where I can actually mod a blade, a regular single-edge blade, to put in there. And you would take this handle off, and put your blade in here, and then you would strap it on the strap. Or there was some unique stropping mechanism, tools and stuff. I don't have that. I don't think it's necessary, but it's really cool if you do have one or if you've seen one. So yeah, this is the first, earliest example of a single-edge razor that I have, and the model, and it's very similar to the original one as well, only with a different handle and different head. So definitely good representation. This is how they started off. This is an 1890 model. Moving along, we have another one. We have a Gem, and I have an Eveready. These are your standard single-edge razors that were really big back in the 20s and 30s. Even before that, probably even after the lather catchers were starting to fade off. These take your conventional style safety razor blades. Now, what's different is these blades that you see, yes, they look like box cutter blades, like typical box cutter blades, but you never ever want to use a box cutter blade in your shaving razor. It's not going to shave right. They're not tempered correctly. They're made to just cut quickly and be disposed, not to shave. They're not as sharp. So, pros and cons. These razors shave excellent. They're very balanced. They're very awesome. They can be found for very, very affordable. They're cheap razors. You can get one for under $10, maybe $20 cased. Really, really cool. Cons are there are only about 8 or 9 different types of blades for them. Not like a double-edged razor where you can get maybe 30 or 40, 50, 60 types. Every time I look, there's a different one. These have not as many blade types, and you could actually still get them at Walgreens or certain Walgreens or grocery stores. Still have them in the shaving aisle. So if you're looking for something quick, they may not be the best, but there are a lot. Or you can try those places like tryblade.com or something like that for blades. So that's the only con I think with these razors. They're really fun to shave with. Easy to clean, easy to maintain. They'll last forever. So awesome. Next on the list would be the Autostrops. Autostrop razors they're designed to be used with a strap. Most of them came with this type of standard like little leather strap, and you just set it up to where you open it up like this. And that's how your blade comes out. Put the strap in, and it would strap back and forth on the strap like that. I'm going to do a video of actually how to strap and how to use one of these very soon because I really love them. I think they're awesome. Auto strap razors, again, this is the VC1 auto strap. This is the original. This is awesome. Look at the finish on it. I haven't done anything. This is an older model, but it's great. The strap is, I conditioned the strap a few times. Still works. And then I'll show you this one. So this one you can actually, before we move on, you can actually use a standard box cutter blade for this. A standard box cutter blade, which is why am I saying box cutter? The standard box cutter style blade for shaving. You can take the spine off and use it in there. Again, please don't use box cutter blades. I just say that on the video because people can really relate to it if you don't know much about them. And you can take the spine off and it'll fit. Otherwise, you can use a feather blade. Really, there's only one type of blade that makes it feather. It's also the same one used in the one blade. It's a great blade. Tends to be expensive. It's about $1 a piece, but they're really awesome and they do last a while. And that is where our next razor comes up, the Valley AutoStrap VC5. This is the last model. This is a cased model. This was all set up in the case. I've never used it. It's old stock. The nice gold color. And this takes those this requires only that one blade from Feather. And it's the one blade that says Feather in the middle. The Valley AutoStrap blade said Valet in the middle too. They have little indications so the blade fits in perfectly. You can only use one type of blade for this. Awesome shavers if you can find it. This is a cased model. I even still have the price tag in it. It's $1.25 back in 1946. So definitely a good piece to have in the collection. Next would be the injector style razors. This is a Schick injector. This was a very popular razor back in the day. And basically you just take the blade goes in here, it's a single edge blade, and an injector, and it pops in the new blade, and we'll put it in, and the old blade comes out. You don't even have to touch it. Put it back, and Schick still makes blades for these. A lot of companies make blades for these as well. You got Feather too. And they're really fun. They're great at razors. There's adjustable versions of this. There's a lot of different types. So these are great. You can have them for real cheap. I probably paid, I don't remember, $8 for this one, $10 online on eBay. So check them out. These are really fun. They shave excellent. They're almost like a cartridge style shave. Very mild, very very efficient, and the blade does last a long time. So definitely a cool piece to have in the collection. And we're going to move up to something that's not as popular. The Gillette Techmatic. Now, the Gillette Techmatic was Gillette's first cartridge razor, and it is the only cartridge razor you can't buy cartridges for anymore. You cannot buy these at the grocery store. I know the Track 2, they still make them. They still make them for all the other ones. This is the only one that didn't. They can't. This was also the razor that was used on the Apollo missions in space. They use this razor, and the cartridge comes out like this. You can find these cartridges online if you want. This is the adjustable version. You can get a non-adjustable cartridge as well. Comes in a nice box. This razor actually shaves pretty nice. It's not too bad. The only thing is you can't find cartridges for it. So I have about 10 cartridges, I think, right now in my collection. So and each cartridge is worth 10 blades. So I have over 100 blades. This will last me forever. I'm not going to ever, use it that often. I might do a video on it soon, just to mess around with it. But they're really cool and great. And I mean, they're not the best shavers. I'll be honest, they're not. And that's probably why Gillette doesn't make the cartridge for it anymore and kind of ceased production on this and moved on to the other items. All right, so that's a Gillette Techmatic. And we have our infamous Rolls razor. So the Rolls razor is a single edge razor, which is basically a straight razor on a stick. You have a strap, you have a hone in this case, and you have a guard. But this is a hollow ground blade made in Sheffield, England, by a washing machine company. They're really, really awesome if you learn how to use them and have them honed properly. I would definitely not use the hone and the strop in here. I would strap them on my own. These tend to be old, don't work as well. Let's be honest. It's 50, 60, 70 years old. So I would highly recommend using a hone, having a hone professionally honed, and then trying it out before you try it on your face. Great razor though. It's a lot of fun. Cool collecting. There's actually a couple groups online that just specialize in these razors. So definitely check them out if you're interested. You can get these for a really nice NOS case for like $80. If not, you can get one probably. I've seen people get them for free. I got that one for free. That was one of my grandfather's razors. And next, finally, we have our artist style, more modern SE razors. I have a little bit of everything here. I don't have all of them, but I have a version of almost everything here. This is the RazoRock Hawk, which takes those feather artist style blades, feather Kai blades. There's a couple other companies that make them. They're longer, about that big. Awesome. They really shave well. It's like shooting with a straight razor. This is made out of aluminum. This is a stainless steel Mongoose. Mongoose was the second razor to come out using this type of blade. First razor to come out with this style. They invented this. And you can see the Hawk is very similar. Sorry if I can get in the camera. The Hawk is similar, but Mongoose came out with this basically in 2014. 2013 was the idea. 14 was when they started getting sold. This is a stainless steel mongoose, very balanced, very heavy. This is a great razor, shaves excellent. Then this is an Illumina goose. This is one of the rare blue ones, only 25 made. This is one of my favorite razors, and this is one I use almost all the time. I use it quite often when I use a safety razor or a single edge. Cool thing about mongoose razors, they're all made in USA. They're actually made in South Florida. So I'm actually a resident of South Florida, so they're made here. So they're all made with quality materials, and they go through a lot of testing. We're gonna have a lot of content on them in the near future. And finally, the Colonel. This is the General from Colonel Razors. This is again similar style, a little bit off, very mild, good shaver. This is about $56. And don't be worried about the grip on it. It actually grips very nicely, very light and balanced. All right, guys, that's it for single edge razors that I have. There are several other types. I don't actually own them at the moment. I've had several. You have your Cobra style razors, which are very hard to get, and you have a couple other ones out there which are really cool. But this is about a good representation of the different types of blades. So when I was thinking about it, there are a lot. It is a lot of stuff. So good luck on looking for a single edge blade if you're looking for one. And remember, you can email me at any time at joe.whatshavingnews@gmail.com if you have any questions. Thanks for watching, guys, and enjoy the podcast.